What's the dumbest workout you've ever done?
But
What? Sorry.
The dumbest workout you've ever done. So I've got a story if you want to think about it. I've told it already, but like to give a preface. But I would love to hear if you've got a dumbest workout ever.
I'll hear yours first. I'll see if I can top.
Okay, okay. So I've told this before, so I'll try to keep it tight. But I've really struggled with some hip and knee issues. I dislocated my hip when I was a kid. It's been kind of a long term problem. Squats have never been my friend really, and so I was trying to find ways where I could still do a good workout and still have fun, but I was trying to keep the actual weight down.
Yeah.
And I ended up chasing like these super high volume workouts, and it was supposed to end with 315 pounds, so 150 kilos or whatever, or 145, something like that, for 15 sets of 15 reps with 1 minute strict rest.
Yeah.
So like from the time I stood up to the time I started going down again. So my unrack and rack didn't count for rest, right? And when I got done, I thought that like literally the next time I went to squat, I couldn't take an empty bar out of the rack. Like the experience was so horrific. Like by the time I got done, I just wanted to die,
Yeah.
and it was like the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
time traveled.
Yeah. I make the joke all the time. I traveled in time. I saw my ancestors. Like the universe didn't exist for a little bit, but it was really horrific. And the same thing you were talking about. Your neck just quit working.
Yeah.
I was like everything. I just couldn't do. I couldn't do anything. Like I remember trying to get out of the couch the next day and just being like trying to figure out where I could put my arms so that my legs didn't have to do anything. like I had my kids were very young at the time, and like one of them was still like in a crib, and I'm like I got to get him out of his crib, and I'm like calling my wife. I'm like I need assistance.
I mean, that's pretty hard to top. I suppose one of the ones that I did on a fairly regular occasion was like a weekly thing, was kind of similar to what you're talking about. This is kind of when I was maybe would have been probably like 15 or 16, and there was this like local bodybuilding, like real old school gym that they had this deal, and it was like $100 for a year membership or something. So me and a couple of friends used to go there, and this is like real old school. But back then, this is when I don't know if you guys had the same pre-workouts. But basically, we didn't really have any regulation in Australia of what people could put in pre-workouts. I don't know. Did you have the same?
For a little while, there was a period in the U.S. where
was
pre-workouts were pretty crazy.
Yeah, so we had this one pre-workout called Jacked 3D. I don't know if you had it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was
Biker
basically
man.
like they would just put meth in a bottle.
Yeah, ephedra and caffeine and
Yeah,
everything else.
yeah. So we would obviously just, have a lot of this Jacked 3D after school and then go to the gym,
As one does.
as one does. And you'd just be like absolutely cooked off it. And so the workout, we would do 10 sets of 10 on the deadlift, like hard sets of 10.
Yeah, that's already stupider than my
Oh,
story.
yeah, it was like, yeah, it was like, 60 to 90 minutes probably of just doing 10 sets of 10, and then we'd do like a full back workout. So sometimes you'd be there for like 3-4 hours just cracked off this pre-workout. And then you would get home and just, as it wears off, you'd be like, what just happened? And your body would just be, because obviously, you've had so much caffeine and stuff at the gym. You're like, this is great. 15-year-old boy just like going ham on
Yeah,
all.
hanging out with your friends,
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
peer pressure.
Yeah. But this was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it
yeah.
was like 10 sets of 10 on the deadlift, and then you do pull-ups, you do lat pull down, you do rows, you do pullovers, you do rear delt flies, you do biceps, like, stupid amounts of volume. And then, yeah, I'd do that every week.
That's every week.
Yeah, every week until they banned the pre-workout.
Why has this gotten so much harder?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You show up with new pre-workouts.
yeah.
It's just like a little caffeine and beta alanine or whatever, and you're like, I don't know, man. I'm on set 6 and I don't feel like doing 4 more.
I mean, I think back to it, and I think I can't believe that you could buy that over the counter. It was like $20 for a tub, and it was just like crack in a bottle.
There's been lots of
Yeah,
supplements that were very good. That's what I like try to tell kids. At any point in time, if you feel like your supplements are really good, like they're probably about to be banned.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like just so you know, like there's a reason it's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's a really interesting history because there was a lot of research on anabolics from forever ago, 40s and 50s or whatever. And there was like some set that we were like, these are illegal and you can't use them. And then the other ones, just like, they weren't labs that made them or whatever. I don't know why they didn't gain popularity. But then all of a sudden, like, supplementation started becoming an industry and it was like, they would just show up in supplements. It's just like,
Yeah.
here's your protein powder with Dianabol. You know, I mean, that was a little before my time, but, you know, and
Yeah,
then,
there's eras of like really strong people that we talk to, and I'm like, "What year did you graduate?" And
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, all right. Did you take protein powder?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, well, that's why you had a 375-pound bench. You're on steroids and you didn't know it.
Yeah, when I was a kid, they called them pro hormones, and they were marketed as precursors to hormones. They were like the things your body needs. It was like they were giving you vitamin D and saturated fat so you could make testosterone, right?
Yeah.
But I found out later on, most of them were just actual anabolics that they just didn't they just weren't banned.
Yeah.
And so, they don't exist. You can't get them anymore.
Yeah.
But for a time, you could just walk into GNC and, buy an anabolic that just destroyed your liver and,
Yeah.
you know. I was really glad. Like I had friends who took them, and I never did, and I was so thankful that I didn't because like I had a buddy who took them, and he just got trashed. Like it was not good for him. It was really good for him for getting stronger, but then as soon as he was like, okay, well it's summertime, and I'm just gonna go play at the beach or whatever, he just fell apart. Like
Yeah.
his whole body just quit on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, wild stuff. How many weeks of 10 sets of 10 do you think you got in? I gotta know.
It was for a while. I don't know exactly, but it was like, and it wasn't just like that was just one example of the deadlift day. Like we would do this on, like you'd do it for because obviously this was like when you just do a bro split. So it'd be like
Mhm.
Monday you'd do it on bench and you'd just do like 10 sets of bench and then, 5 sets of incline and then flies and
Mhm.
dips and yeah. So I trained like that for quite a long time.